Okay, hey you guys, I'm back and I have another one. I had this vision on June 12th, 2022. And I had this vision at 3:24. I saw a beautiful bride standing in her wedding dress, holding her bouquet. Okay, so I looked up 3:24 and it meant receive, receiving, to take upon self, to undertake, assume, also to receive, to entertain anyone hospitably. And so I was led to Hebrews chapter 11, verses 17 through 19. This is what it says concerning the triumphs of faith. This is a word about promises, the promises the Lord has made, and it concerns marriage, kingdom marriage. Um, so this is what it says. By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said, that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that God was able to raise him up even from the dead, for whence also he received him in a figure. Okay, so like I said, this is a word about the promises that God has given when it comes to marriage and when it comes to eternal life. And so it's also about being able to sacrifice, to sacrifice those very promises, um, that He's made to you, to lay down those things that He's promised. And yeah, it's about laying down those promises. So if God promised you kingdom marriage, um, before He gives that to you, you're gonna have to sacrifice it. You're gonna have to lay it down, and not idolize it, but lay it down. Um, as well as when it comes to God promising us eternal life, you have to lay down your life for Christ. Um, and the promise that He's giving us is a crown of life in the end. And so, you have to be willing to serve God with your life, no matter what's happened, no matter what's going on in your life, through good times and bad times, you know, through joyous times and through sorrowful times. You have to be willing to serve God and to lay down your life for Him, and keep your focus, keep your mind stayed on Him through those things. And in that, you will receive, at the end, you will receive a crown of life. So I'm going to go to James chapter 1, verse 12, and read that verse. This is what it says. It says, this is about testing your faith, because if God said He's going to give you something, He's a man of His word. He's going to deliver on every promise that He's made. But you will have to, many times there will be testing before that promise is received, and you will have to sacrifice it, just like Abraham was about to sacrifice his only son when God told Abraham that Isaac would be the one, that in Isaac it should be his seed shall be called. So James chapter 1 verse 12 says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, because you being tried is that during that time of you having to sacrifice, but when you know that God has promised you something, you're being tried in that time that you're having to sacrifice, that you have to be willing to sacrifice and lay down that thing. You're being tried. It says, he shall receive the crown of life. The crown of life is the promise. It says, which is one of the promises, because God makes many promises throughout His word, but it says, which the Lord hath promised to them that love Him. And so Same thing with kingdom marriage. Um, if the Lord is promised you that in these times, um, you have to be willing to lay that down and stay focused on Him. And the moment that you're able to sacrifice that, to lay it down, is the very moment that you become the closest to receiving that promise. And so this is about, you know, being able to sacrifice, to lay down your life, to lay down the very thing that God promised and still serve Him. And in the end, actually receiving of that promise. And so this is a short word. This is all that I have for this one. I will be back with another one. Yeah, that's all that I have for this one. See y'all later and goodbye.